I, 28 female, am a new mother and I am sort of losing my mind over what happened very recently. I gave birth to my daughter around a week ago and I'm still recovering from it. It was a horrible experience because my mother-in-law, Jenny, 52 female, betrayed me by not driving me to the hospital on time. I know all this sounds very weird. I am kind of all over the place and extremely tired right now, so everything may seem a little jumbled up. I really need to know if I'm overreacting or maybe did something wrong, and that's why I'm making this post. My mother-in-law has never really been a big fan of me from the very beginning. I don't know what her problem is and don't care. I tried hard to win her over, but it never happened. My husband, Zyla, 31, male, made it clear that he doesn't care if we don't get along because he doesn't get along with his mother either. Zyla has a sister, Olivia, 29, female, who's absolutely Jenny's favorite child. This woman is so spoiled and entitled that I started disliking her from day one. I could write a novel about how rude she was to me, but I don't want to turn this post into a book. Basically, as far as I realized, Olivia has some issues with other women, no matter who they are. She is a major attention seeker, and her mother enables her all the time. We all stay in separate places and Zyla doesn't like to be around them, so we never had to put up with them too much. Yes, they do insult me and are mean to me at family events, but everyone else quickly puts them in their place. I guess Olivia and Jenny hate that no one takes their side. Anyway, after Zyla and I announced our pregnancy, Jenny seemed to have softened a little towards me. She was excited because this was her first grandchild. Olivia was never interested and acted a little off. I guess she didn't like that I was getting extra attention even from my mother-in-law. Things started getting really weird after we had the gender reveal. We found out that I'm having a daughter. Everyone was excited, but Olivia just started crying. Jenny had to calm her down. After that day, I saw Jenny slowly distancing herself from us. She also started being mean to me again, but not in the extreme sense. Now, normally I would just step back and create some more distance between all of us, but I had to stay in touch with my mother-in-law because she was supposed to drive me to the hospital when I was in labor. My husband was busy with a major project, wouldn't be able to leave work out of the blue. We discussed this before he took on the project, and Jenny volunteered to be the one to take me to the hospital. I don't have a family of my own, since my parents are already gone and the rest of them live far away. My friends also have work and wouldn't be able to leave on short notice. So Jenny was the best option, unfortunately. Well, it was completely wrong to depend on her. My daughter actually came 5 days before my due date. When I felt my contractions getting worse, I immediately knew that the baby would be there soon. I called up my mother-in-law so that she could come down and take me to the hospital. To my horror, her phone was unreachable. I kept trying her, but the calls never went through. At the time, I realized that calling her would be useless. It was too late to call someone else. I was in so much pain, so scared that my brain stopped working right. I was desperate to go to the hospital, so I just got in my car and left. I can't put into words just how much I was struggling to drive. Luckily, I spotted a police car as soon as I was on the main road. I parked near them and begged them to take me to the hospital. I fully believe that it is because of them that I was able to have my daughter without complications. The cops and the hospital staff were extremely helpful and even called my husband and some of my friends. My husband came as fast as he could, but he sadly missed the birth of our daughter. There was no way he would have arrived on time because I literally had to give birth in the emergency. After the excitement died down, I told Zyla what had happened. He was as furious as I was. He kept trying to call Jenny, but the calls didn't go through this time either. Finally, after 5 hours, Jenny showed up at the hospital with Olivia in tow. They were dressed from head to toe and looked like they had been to a salon. I don't know what happened between them and Zyla, but he kicked them out as soon as he saw them. Zyla and I had both decided that Jenny didn't deserve to see the baby after the stunt she pulled. When Zyla came and told me what happened, I was more pissed than ever. Jenny and Olivia had weekly date nights on Fridays. That day was Friday, so Jenny was out at the salon and spa to get ready before their grand date night. I know it sounds cringe, but that's what it is. Their date night was more important than driving me to the hospital so that I could give birth in peace. Zyla and I were mad at Jenny because she kept saying that she didn't do anything wrong. Olivia also said that their date night was more important than a false alarm. So Zyla shouldn't be so hard on them. But it wasn't a false alarm. I did have my daughter, and God knows what would have happened if I had attempted to continue driving myself to the hospital. Anyway, I was so mad that I went on the family group chats and told everyone what Jenny and Olivia did and why they are banned from seeing my daughter. Now they're blowing up mine and my husband's phone, saying that we are being heartless by keeping them away from the baby and turning all the family against them. It's been days already, and the abuse is just getting worse. I'm extremely mentally drained and starting to question myself right now. AITA for what I did. Edit, everyone wants to know why I think I'm an idiot in this situation. Listen, I don't think I am being unreasonable or an idiot. I do not have doubts about keeping my child away from my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. I'm just thinking that maybe I shouldn't have aired their dirty laundry in front of everyone. I mean, Jenny and Olivia are trying to make me feel guilty by telling me that they are being shunned by everyone. It's true that the extended family is not at all happy with their antics. They had tried hard to make Jenny realize that she shouldn't be so rude and mean to me, but she isn't one to learn. I also think Olivia wasn't just supporting Jenny. She was also encouraging her behavior. I noticed that she had been acting really off after I announced my pregnancy, so maybe she has reservations about me and the baby too. Like mother, like daughter, I guess. Again, I think they deserve to be kept away from my child. But they are being isolated and attacked by everyone because I told them what they did. I am still extremely hormonal, so I am a little scared that I acted out of anger and made everything public. Update 1. I thought I was going crazy or acting extremely hormonal after my birth. With Jenny and Olivia piling up on me, I got so stressed that I started to question my actions. I know that my husband is on my side, but I kept thinking that he's just sparing my feelings, so I didn't find his opinion reassuring. Thank you so much for your judgment. Now I know that I am NTA. There were a good number of people who thought that this story wasn't true. Oh boy, I wish I were making this up. If this were actually fake, I would have been the happiest woman. Sometimes I have been hoping that all of this is just a nightmare or a figment of my imagination. But as soon as I open my messages, I am getting the reality check that this is all true. Jenny and Olivia are still being extremely insulting towards me. They actually showed up to our house again yesterday and demanded to be let in. My husband, God bless him, told me to stay put with the baby while he dealt with them. I could hear parts of their conversation because Jenny and Olivia were almost screaming with anger. They said that I was being crazy by keeping them away from the baby. They also called me overdramatic and were trying once again to say that what they did wasn't a big deal. I could tell that my husband was losing his patience with them. He just kept telling them to leave and that we are not changing our minds. My mother-in-law and sister-in-law then started waterworks to try and manipulate Zyla. They kept saying that I was turning him against them, that he was being unfair to his own family for a nobody. I am his wife and literally gave birth to his child a few days ago. These two are simply delusional and downright crazy. I was getting mad and really wanted to go and kick them off my property in person. But I knew that my husband would deal with them for me, so I stayed put and let him do what he wanted. There was a little yelling after this, and my husband just shut the door on their faces. I tried asking him what they said, but he isn't telling me all the details. I know he doesn't want me to get angry and stressed when I'm recovering from childbirth. We are new to this parents thing, so taking care of a newborn has been hard on both of us. This additional problem isn't doing wonders for our mental and physical health. Thank God our neighbors are being super helpful and bringing us food every day so that we don't have to worry about cooking. Our community is really helpful and knows that we are going through a lot of trouble. It's sad that our neighbors care more about us than my in-laws. The difference is just more stark when you make that comparison. The extended family is also checking up on me and asking us if we need help. One of Zyla's aunts will be here in 2 days to help with everything. She is a retired nurse, so she wants to be the one to stay with us and help. She is a really nice lady and we love to have her in the house. I know that things with Jenny and Olivia are far from over, but at least we will have some help to deal with them. Today, one of our neighbors told us that she would call the cops next time my mother-in-law and sister-in-law showed up screaming at our doorstep. That one kind of made me laugh because I was picturing Jenny and Olivia having to explain to the cops why they weren't allowed to be on our property. I am feeling a little better after knowing that everyone is on my side. It does help a lot to get that validation from everyone, but of course I know Jenny and Olivia won't give up anytime soon. Since you guys have been so nice to me, I'll give you an update if something happens or even if things calm down. I'm going to go get some sleep now before my baby wakes up again. Update 2. Jenny and Olivia did not calm down or give up. Those two are really something else. They kept harassing me and Zyla even after we kept saying that they needed to stop and stay away. The craziness in them is truly unmatched. Zyla is absolutely fed up with them, so am I. Zyla's aunt, Rebecca, came to our house 3 days ago. She has been doing an awesome job of helping us out, while Zyla and I take some rest. She's actually Jenny's sister, but God, they're total opposites. Rebecca has always been a sweetheart to me and told her sister and niece off every time they tried to bully me in the past. I knew calling her over was a good idea. My poor husband has been beating himself up a lot. He feels like he started all this drama by not being able to say no to a big project. I have been consoling him because I don't like seeing him so upset. I know he took that project because it pretty much guarantees a promotion. He was doing it for me and our child. He has even asked me for my opinion before making the final decision. I think I should be blaming myself for trusting Jenny to drive me to the hospital. I wish I had just asked Rebecca to come over and stay with me before my due date. Zyla and I talked about things and have agreed to stop blaming ourselves for what Jenny and Olivia did. It's strange that the real culprits are showing no remorse or taking accountability for their actions. Jenny even had the audacity to threaten us with grandparents' rights. Pretty sure she has no leg to stand on, but she likes deluding herself. The few family members who had taken her side with their bad judgment are actually coming around and thinking that maybe we are in the right. They haven't apologized yet and will stay banned till they do. So far, almost everyone who lives near us has met our baby. My daughter has received a lot of gifts and compliments already. I'm just happy knowing that he will grow up around amazing aunts, uncles, and cousins. My husband and I haven't decided yet how long we're going to continue the no contact with Jenny and Olivia. We didn't have much time to talk about that, but I guess we need to have that conversation as soon as possible. You will have to wish us luck for that one. We have been talking about possibly meeting with Jenny and Olivia just to set the record straight. I don't want them to think that they have a chance to harass their way back into our lives right now. We will see what we do about that. Any suggestions on that front are welcome. Update 3. I know that most of you said we don't need to meet with Jenny and Olivia, but we felt like this was necessary. Zyla and I have been thinking hard about everything that's happened. We thought that a confrontation was necessary. We have stood up for ourselves in the past, but we haven't really confronted the duo before. I think they've started to think that they can get away with everything. I admit that we should have gone no contact or low contact with them a long time ago. But what's done is done. You may be happy to know that Zyla and I finally made that decision after talking to Jenny and Olivia. I think you can already guess that the talk didn't go well. I'm also sure that none of you are surprised. To be very honest, I wasn't prepared for the stuff I was about to hear from Jenny and Olivia. Zyla and I had gone to see them in the hope that we could convince them to stay away, but we ended up finally discovering why the duo had been acting like crazy people after my pregnancy announcement. Zyla actually didn't beat about the bush and straight up asked Jenny why she ignored my pleas to take her to the hospital. She hemmed and hawed for a while before telling us that she didn't want my daughter to be born on Friday. Sounds weird, right? Well, according to Jenny, Friday is her and her daughter's special day, so Olivia didn't want to share that day with the newest addition to the family. Zyla and I were left completely speechless by this. Jenny was hoping that I wouldn't give birth to my baby if she didn't drive me to the hospital. I actually think she didn't take me seriously at all when I said that I was having the baby. She was so obsessed with preserving her tradition with her daughter that she didn't care if her grandchild got harmed because of it. Zyla got so mad on hearing this that he started to yell at Jenny. He told her that he couldn't believe she would do this to her own grandchild. Olivia immediately stepped in and said that she didn't understand why we were giving the child so much priority anyway. That one made me mad and I went off on her. After a ridiculous argument, we discovered a few more things about Jenny and Olivia's behavior. Olivia had been acting odd since my pregnancy announcement because she was jealous. I got pregnant before her. Yes, she couldn't take it that I was having a child before her when I was younger than her. Then, when she found out that I was having a daughter, she started hating both me and my baby because she thinks we will be stealing her place. She was afraid that Jenny would give my daughter more attention now. I have a strong feeling that Olivia has some psychological problem where she can't stand other women. I have seen her being jealous of me and her girl cousins, but this is just on a different level. When Zyla explained that her stupid jealousy could have killed our daughter, she just shrugged and said that she didn't care. I noticed that even Jenny looked horrified when she heard that. I was very close to throttling Olivia, but Zyla and I just left before we lost control and put our hands on that crazy woman. We don't want to land in jail because we have a daughter to think about. We are still very rattled by Olivia's confession. We told Rebecca everything, and she worried that Olivia is close to having a psychotic breakdown. Right now, I'm more scared about my daughter than anything else. After coming home, we texted Olivia and told her that she better not contact us again or show up at our house, or we will call the cops on her and sue her for harassment. We also texted Jenny and told her that since she chose to support her crazy daughter's delusions, we don't want her around us or our daughter anymore. Their phone numbers are blocked right now. I'll be honest that I am a little scared right now. I had my doubts that Olivia had some major mental problems, but I didn't think me and my daughter would end up suffering for it. Right now, Zyla and I are checking and rechecking our home security system just in case Olivia or Jenny tries something stupid. I don't know if I'm going to come back with an update because I am not in the mental place to talk about this again and again. Update 4. Hi everyone. I am back with an update for you guys. I can't believe how many of you were concerned about me. I read almost all your comments, even if I didn't leave a reply. Some of your stories really scared and worried me. I mean, I know people can be unhinged at times, but I wasn't expecting so many stories to be out there. People who knew someone like Olivia have also personally DM'd me to warn me that she may escalate her behavior and end up harming me and my daughter. Believe me, I took all of your concerns seriously, and thank God I did. Olivia did end up losing her mind to the extreme, so it was good that you guys prepared me for it. I am sure you will be curious to know what happened, so here it is. After my last post, things were a little quiet for a few days. Zyla and I were starting to be happy that Jenny and Olivia took the hint and decided that it would be best not to harass us anymore. However, Rebecca kept telling us to look out because she had a bad feeling about Olivia. Rebecca has dealt with a fair bit of psych ward patients, so she knows how they act or react. So she warned us that Olivia might try something stupid. Zyla and I took that warning very seriously. My husband was going crazy with worry because he always had his doubts that Olivia was unhinged. But, of course, my mother-in-law dismissed his concerns all the time. Speaking of my mother-in-law, well, she showed up at our house again, crying and begging us to talk to her. She said that she won't ask to see the baby. She just wanted to talk. Zyla and I talked to her outside the house because this was the first time Jenny was actually looking a little remorseful. And turns out she did feel remorseful and guilty for what she did to me and my daughter. According to her, Olivia had been really insecure that my daughter would take her place as Jenny's favorite. She kept crying to Jenny about it every day and told her that she felt abandoned and neglected. Jenny felt bad for Olivia and started to be less enthusiastic about my pregnancy. This perfectly explained what she did. 180 midway through the pregnancy. This perfectly explained what she did. 180 midway through the pregnancy. Jenny did her best to reassure her that she would always be loved. But Olivia wouldn't hear of it. It was Olivia's idea that Jenny and she take a trip with my baby. It was Olivia's idea that Jenny leave me to fend for myself. Jenny was hesitant, but Olivia convinced her that I wouldn't be in labor so soon. She also emotionally blackmailed her, telling Jenny that she was abandoning her by cancelling their weekly meeting. Jenny felt bad and did exactly what Olivia wanted. Now, according to my mother-in-law, she never got any calls from me that day. When she went home, she saw that her phone was in flight mode. That's why my calls never went through. Jenny only noticed the blunder when they were going to the restaurant for their dinner. Jenny had thought that she was the one who put the phone on flight mode by mistake, but after our last conversation, she started getting suspicious. She also didn't like the way Olivia talked about my daughter. So after our conversation, she met with Olivia and confronted her. After a major argument, Olivia admitted to everything, and my mother-in-law was pissed because Olivia was the reason she was banned from seeing her granddaughter. The two of them had a shouting match where Olivia called my daughter horrible names and said something about how she should have done something to get rid of the stupid child because it is already ruining everything. Jenny was super alarmed by this statement and finally realized just how unhinged and crazy her loving daughter had become. Zyla and I were extremely shocked, angry and scared after this conversation with Jenny. My mother-in-law kept apologizing and said that she knew she had messed up big time. She said that she regrets what happened and has decided to cut contact with Olivia if she doesn't get help. The two of them are still fighting, apparently. Jenny left shortly after saying what she had to say. We told her that she is still banned from seeing the baby or being around us because we don't have it in us to forgive her. Jenny cried and said she understood and she won't push this issue anymore. She just asked for a chance in the future after she proves that she has changed. We gave her some vague assurance and sent her on her way. Rebecca had later joined the conversation too, and she has been making some calls about the process of getting Olivia committed if she continues her erratic behavior. Zyla and I are even more stressed than before and don't know what to expect right now. Please pray for us so that this nightmare will end soon. Update 5. Hi guys, I'm so sorry for taking a big break from Reddit. I know that you guys have been worried about us. I have come to tell you that all your concerns and fears about Olivia escalating her behavior did come true. But things have calmed down a bit now. This is going to be the final update because I have too much on my plate to continue posting here. My daughter and I are safe, so you don't have to panic. A day after my last post, Olivia showed up at my house and wreaked havoc. There is now a huge hole in my nursery bedroom and my daughter is sleeping in our room. Olivia showed up at the house in the middle of the night without warning. She was first on our doorstep screaming about how the baby ruined everything. She was acting like a crazy person, so we didn't open the door. We just saw and heard her through the Ring doorbell camera. She was crying and yelling about how my baby should be taken away and destroyed because it is ruining her life. Her words, not mine. Olivia went on and on about how my daughter has already turned Jenny against her and is making everyone call her crazy. Zyla, Rebecca and I knew right away that she was having an emotional breakdown, but we didn't know what to do about it. We told her to get off our property before we called the cops. Olivia yelled her heart out and left pretty much mid-rant. By that time, my neighbor had already called the cops and informed us about it. As we waited for the cops to come, we thought that Olivia had gone away, but 2 minutes later we heard something crash through the nursery window. Zyla and I immediately rushed there to see Olivia trying to climb in through the broken window. She threw a flower pot at it to break it down. Thankfully, my daughter was away from the window, so the broken glass didn't reach her. My husband immediately went and restrained his sister, who was still acting erratically and spewing venom even after being injured by the broken glass. Thank God the neighbors had called the cops already, so they were at the house only a few minutes after Olivia broke in. They arrested her and took her to the hospital because she had injured herself when climbing through the broken glass. As of now, Olivia is in a psych ward. She will also face charges for breaking into our home. Due to the nature of her threats, we were able to get a restraining order against her. I don't know how long it will take for Olivia to be out and about because I hear that she's severely mentally ill. Zyla and I have decided to never have her in our lives again because we simply can't take that risk again. Jenny has been extremely apologetic to us and not in the best space mentally, but she is still banned from seeing the baby and keeping in contact with us. Maybe in the future we might reconsider this if she shows some positive changes, but for now, Jenny's also banned from our lives, so yes, that's the update now. My family had some really hard days and we are all pretty shaken up. I will be concentrating on getting our minds back on track and taking care of my daughter, who needs me the most right now. I will be logging off here and probably won't be back here again. I know things have been bad, but we are on the road to improvement. I'm positive that we will overcome this very soon. Keep us in your prayers, please. Stay tuned for more stories from our girl relationships.